What's up everyone, John from Beyond ARTV. It's time for another installment of everyone's favorite Sunday series, 7 on Sunday. And if it's not your favorite, then please just don't tell me. I don't want to know who you're cheating on me with. Today on 7 on Sunday, we're going to be talking about 7 songs that sound very happy with their music, and maybe even just the sounds that they emit in general, but are actually very dark once you pick apart the songs and get to the underlying theme and message of them. I know that when I mention songs that sound happy but are actually dark, there's probably a myriad of songs that start to flood into your head, but how many of those actually carry a relatively dark message instead of just something that's, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a downer? Today, we're going to be taking a look at some songs that maybe feel a bit twisted and ones that are very dark in some ways. And I know that there will be other things that you could probably add to the list, and feel free to comment down below with anything that you would add, but these are my 7 picks for 7 songs that sound happy but are actually dark. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to drop a like while you're here and subscribe to the channel, and you can always leave suggestions for future episodes of 7 on Sunday.
You're hideous and sexy. She moves through moonbeams slowly. She knows just how to hold me. And when her edges soften, her body is my coffin.
Be honest with me, did you know the song that just played? If you didn't, that's totally fine, but if you did, look under your seat, there's a free cookie. Okay, maybe I lied about the cookies, but I'm not lying about this song being dark. It's funny, it's cynical, it's twisted, and I love this song. In fact, it's called Love Me Dead by a band called Ludo. You might not know them, but you probably should. They have some very funny stuff, some kind of twisted stuff that's meant to be that way. This song, I feel like, is meant to make you laugh, but it is also based on an extremely toxic relationship. One that the guy knew that he shouldn't be in, and he's saying all of these things that describe somebody that is so vile. And even the title of the album that came from this release right here, it's pulled from the lyrics of Love Me Dead. You're awful, I love you. This song is actually all about somebody who is just terrible for them, but at the same time, he still wants her, and it's very interesting. And I love the descriptive and kind of clever imagery that's used in the lyrics, especially she moves through moonbeams slowly. That really just brings something to the mind's eye. It's a very interesting cut, and if you listen to it, you probably do pick up on that. That's why I put it at number 7 and not at number 1 or something, but still, definitely some dark, but fun, twisted stuff going on here.
I'm never what I like. I'm double-sided and I just can't hide. I kinda like it when I make you cry. 'Cause I'm twisted up inside.
People would be having a riot in the comments section if I didn't put some 21 Pilots on here, and trust me, it definitely popped into my head as soon as I started thinking about ideas for this very topic, and I considered a few other songs, especially from Vessel. There are some on their album Blurry Face, but I just don't feel like they're as suited because a lot of the tracks do feel kind of dark. But honestly, I picked Semiautomatic from Vessel for a reason. There is a very dark tendency to this song, and it seems to talk about a dark passenger, so to speak. Somebody not knowing who they are, there being another side to themselves. But musically, this one does kind of have a perky, happy, almost gleeful approach to music making, and I do like that. The chorus is super catchy. I'm semi-automatic, my prayer is schizophrenic. It's really well done in the sense that I like the balance between the dark and the light, but man, the dark gets pretty dark. Despite this song having those sing-along ready moments almost, it also has a darker character that we get to know in a kind of ominous tone, as Tyler Joseph likely sings about himself. As we get to know this song better, and as you spend more time with it, you'll probably understand that, and I'm sure that there's plenty of 21 Pilots fans here that would probably tell me that there are better choices for this list, but hey, this one is the one that I'm sticking with, and I think that it suits the topic well.
As time rolls on like it always does, though it might be a little different, I won't forget. I'm still breathing. I'm still breathing.
Number 5, Chlorine by Trophy Eyes. Listening to this song in passing, I really had no idea what it was about. I passed it by and I didn't care about it all that much. In fact, I really wasn't into the sound of Trophy Eyes, but this is one that I came back to. Now, Chlorine is actually a very dark and jaded story. It's something that kind of talks about a different perspective, getting older, and seeing something happen to somebody from your childhood. Now, on this track, Chlorine, you might just listen and think, okay, this is kind of a vibey song. It might have some angst and some drive to it, especially the parts where the lyrics feel a little bit more screamed, but the way that it's presented, it might just sell itself as maybe something about, oh, I'm bitter about an old relationship or something. But actually, lyrically, this song is very deep and also very dark. It talks about somebody who committed suicide, and the lead singer actually knew this person when he was a kid. In fact, the lead singer almost drowned as a child, but this person who lived in his neighborhood actually came and saved him. And now, all of these years later, he found out that this person committed suicide, taking their own life. And he just kind of talks about and discusses how weird it is that this person went to the trouble of saving his life, but wasn't able to save himself. And as the song continues going on, I just find it hitting me pretty hard, and I know a lot of other people will find it that way as well. Especially if you've never listened to this song, at least not on that level, give it another play, read along, and see what you find.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please help me?
This doesn't need a ton of explaining as to why it's here, but at number 4, The Beatles, Help. John Lennon famously sung this one in a very upbeat manner, and it's an upbeat 60s rock jam, right? I mean, maybe you need some help, but maybe it's just a smaller problem. No, in fact, John Lennon was going through a lot of stuff, a lot of pressure from being in the limelight, and he really needed help. He was crying out on this one, and it seems like it came from kind of a maniacal point of view, and he's saying, please, I will do anything. Help me get out of here. But because of what the record label wanted, he wasn't able to make Help the way that he really wanted to, I feel. In fact, he had some darker recordings of the song, and I think that its spirit was meant to be kind of downtrodden and, like I said, a cry for help. And instead, we got it packaged up neatly as this pop-leaning rock song that had a really sticky hook to it, and that's what the Beatles did. It's still a great song as it is, but if you look at the message that underlies it, you can see that somebody was in deep, deep trouble.
She says, oh, I can't take no more. Her tears like diamonds on the floor, and her diamonds bring me down, 'cause I can't help her now. She's down in it. She tried her best and now she can't win. It's hard to see them on the ground. Her diamonds falling down.
Number 3, Rob Thomas, Her Diamonds. This was the lead single from his solo album Cradle Song, and I knew that this song definitely had a sad sensation and feeling to it, but it wasn't until probably about 5 years ago that I actually knew the true meaning. Now, this song was released in 2008, I believe, and it was featured quite heavily on VH1's Video Countdown. I would listen to the song, watch the video, and saw the melting statue of ice, and wondered, what is the deeper meaning here? Because I could feel the emotion in Rob Thomas's voice. I learned later on that his wife Marisol has actually been battling Lyme disease for over a decade now, and it's kind of destroyed them in some ways, but has also made them very strong. He said it feels like there's an alien in the house because Lyme disease has made her somebody else at least sometimes, and her affliction really causes her to kind of lash out or else really just go into hiding sometimes, almost shut down. And when you go through this, you lose the person that you knew and you don't know what to do for them. You would do anything for them, but sometimes it just feels like your hands are tied. And this song brings me to the point of tears as I listen to it because it does sound kind of hopeful with that gospel chorus on it and the backing vocals. It sounds like maybe something is shining through and is going to happen and make everything all right. But the truth is that they don't have all the answers. The doctors don't, and he's breaking down and crying right there with her. This song is really just kind of precious in the way that it is, and it's one of the most genuine top 40 hits that I've heard in the past decade, and of the past decade, I guess I should say.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to meet you there. I don't care, I'm so horny. That's okay, my will is good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kurt Cobain's life was filled with tragedy, so maybe that's why he sounds so apathetic on their hit song Lithium. You might know Lithium for being like a prescription for somebody who is deeply depressed, and that is something that Cobain of Nirvana fame definitely struggled with. He never really got himself through being in the public eye, and everybody was talking about him, Courtney Love, and it was clear that his mental health was starting to take a beating. Even on this song right here, he's crying out over a rather optimistic sounding musicality of the track, the guitars, the drums, the bass, everything like that. It's kind of brooding in a way, but also it kind of gives some more fierce sensations that would imply, hey, I'm okay, but he's also screaming on this track towards the end, I'm not gonna crack, referring to his own mental health and sanity, basically saying, keep it together. The song is undeniably iconic at this point, just like the band Nirvana. One of my favorites of all time, if I'm being honest. It's in my top 10, it's fantastic, but I don't think a lot of people realize, especially when it comes on the radio, exactly what he was facing and these demons that were present in his life.
I want something else to get me through this semi-time kind of life, baby, baby. I want something else. I'm not listening when you say goodbye.
Do 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 do. I don't care what anybody says, this is the happiest sad song of all time. It's literally talking about drugs taking over somebody's life, crystal meth ruining and wrecking somebody in all of their relationships, but it's like, do do do, I'm a bee. It's a jam and a half any day of the week, and it's a staple to this day for good reason, but good God, the lead singer Steven was going through some shit. It's so clear that these drugs were just all that he had, and at one time the drugs made him happy, but in this song he laments about how the drugs are now just a chore. He has to spend money, time, and even sacrifice friends, relationships, and romance for the sake of getting high. I can't believe this song got as much mainstream attention and exposure as it did. I mean, I think it was played on like MTV. It definitely is all over the radio still. Alternative stations locally play the hell out of this song, and it is literally all in the words right in front of you if you piece it together. I mean, I guess I didn't think about it for the first like 5 to 10 years that I knew the song, but holy hell, once somebody actually told me, I never looked at it the same, and I can't think of anything that really would top a song like this on a list that is about happy songs that are actually dark. That's it for this episode of 7 on Sunday, everyone. What did you think of the list? What would you add to it? What do you think of my choices? Sound off in the comments section, and please drop a like on the video while you're here. If you would like to leave suggestions for future episodes of 7 on Sunday, I will definitely take those into consideration. Upvote some of the ones that you see that you like in the comments section, and if you are able to, please support the channel on Patreon at the top link in the description. I've already got the next handful of episodes of SOS planned out. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. You do not want to miss out on those. Lots of other uploads coming to Beyond ARTV very soon as well. Make sure you follow me on Twitch if you want to see me game. That is linked down below. Other than that, last week's episode and another video right here, and I'll see you very soon for more on Beyond ARTV.